We back, we back, we back, we back. Hit that like button. What's up, game? Man, Feds got caught playing dirty. So y'all know for the last couple days, probably like last couple weeks, since that third superseding indictment, I've been telling y'all, yo, Durk gotta get this third superseding indictment tossed out. Got to. Mandatory. He went to court on it today. And people is reporting good news. Remember, Lord, which I was telling you about it. I said he got to get that indictment tossed, man. Or at the very least severed. If they went to trial, if they made this one big trial with that Vicar murder and with the Stephon Mack case and the Chicago case, the case in Atlanta, if they made that one whole case, Durk was in trouble, man. I stand on that firmly. And I think Drew Finley and Brian Steele was under that same assumption. It wasn't no way he was. Now it ain't been ruled on yet, but for the people that was in court and Trap Lil Raw's goofy ass was there, they need to ban. If I was Durk, I'd get his ass kicked out of court. Fuck that, get his ass removed. You heard me. But anyway, his goofy ass was there, and I think he probably was there thinking he was ready to see the end. You know, because if this hearing didn't go Durk way, it was going to be the end. And that ain't what he's saying. That's not what's being reported. Now, what's that girl name that be there? Here you go. I'm going to read what she say first. You know, because I rather respect her than Trap Lil Raw's goofy ass. So she starts it off with, oh man, what the fuck? Open that X. Hold on. Oh, I ain't got X on this phone. Man, I think Durk need to get his ass kicked out. That's the fuck need to happen. Get his ass kicked out of court, man. We don't need Trap Lil Ross there, man. Fucking shit up. Alright, so she said just got out the federal building for Durk hearing, and Brian Steele was here, as well as Durk other attorneys. This is the first in-person hearing Steele has attended since joining the team. What the fuck? Hold on. Open X. What the fuck, man? Let's go to her page. Let's go to her page. See what she's talking about. Alright, she said the government is relying on established case law that defendants' trials should not be severed unless there is a clear prejudice against them, especially in conspiracy cases. The judge made interesting remarks about that case law being about defendants being severed versus counts being severed. He asked if there is anything to support why counts shouldn't be severed. Government's position, the case law applies to both. When Christy O'Connor got up to give argument on Durk's behalf, she basically said, Your Honor, you said it all. I don't have to add much. She did eventually add that From the beginning, Durk has requested a speedy trial, and any further delay because of the government's actions is unfair to him. They're requesting the August 20th date remain on calendar for counts 2 and 4, and another trial date be set for the added counts. They fuck around and drop the added counts. If the feds can't get these added counts into this August 20th trial, they fuck around and drop that shit. They fuck around and drop that shit. Let me show you what Trap Lil Ross goofy ass said. Cause this was a dirty move, y'all.
Alright, look, I'm outside the federal courthouse in Los Angeles. I just witnessed the Durk trial. I just seen Durk with my own two eyes, literally outside. We're waiting for Brian Steele and Drew Findling to come out and make a statement to the public. I see Brian Steele, see Drew Findling, a whole lot of aura in the courtroom. But this was a massive W for Durk today. I'm not going to lie, this is the biggest W that I think I've seen him take in this case. There's not too much new stuff about the evidence that he's got going on in the situation, but what there is there is a whole lot of back and forth where the judge is low-key taking Durk's side. Durk is fighting to have these new charges, the murder of Stefan Mack, severed from the murder of Savia Robinson, aka Lil Pab. And, there was talk that, he facing another body. This was a body that was rumored to be, associated with the criminal enterprise for quite some time. It finally got brought in with these additional vicar charges. But the judge is basically saying, you can't really throw that murder on so last minute. You're going to be prejudicial to the jury. It's kind of in bad faith. The judge didn't make his ruling yet, but he basically gave both sides an opportunity to argue. I'm not going to lie, the prosecution was completely tongue-tied. They didn't really have a good response. They didn't really have a clap back. The judge kind of dog-walked them a bit. I've got a whole bunch of notes that I'm going to break down in a bigger video on my second channel, Trapmore Ross, on YouTube later. But basically, this was a huge W for Durk. There were moments where the judge basically was...
He only did this to try to grow his second channel. He don't really give a fuck for real. He want Durk buried. I just watched the whole video of him talking about NBA YoungBoy and King Von was beefing over who had the most bodies. Like, I don't like him at all, man. Like, I don't even think he's a fan of hip hop. He's like the epitome of a culture vulture. Like, by definition, like he need to be in the dictionary for culture vulture. That's the fuck he is.
It's like, let him have his LA murder case on its own as planned in August, and let's separate those other charges. Doesn't mean that the additional murder's been dismissed, although the judge said he would hear arguments for that, and he said the prosecution hasn't even made a case for why it shouldn't be dismissed yet. But basically, it sounds like the judge is going to sever the two different murder charges, let Durk have his LA Lil Pab murder case separately in August.
It ain't over. He got new life. If he can get these cases severed, he got a chance. Because they don't have a strong case in that California. If they had a strong case in the California situation, they wouldn't be doing all of this, y'all. Like, that's what I've been telling people all along. Like, whenever you see them keep superseding, that means, their case ain't where they think it should be. They don't have a strong case, man. They don't. That's why they trying any and everything. They trying any and everything to get a conviction. Now, if this move would have worked, or if this move do work, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for Durk to climb up under this. But if he can sever both them counts and deal with it individually, which means it won't be a RICO, it won't be no Vicar murder type of situation, it'll just be another murder for hire count, he got a way better chance of beating that. He got a way better chance of beating that, man. And the feds knew what they was doing when they did it. Like, but this is the games they play. I was just telling my man, they played the same game with me on my case. Like, these people literally have all the evidence, right? They have all the evidence. Drop the charges. And that's basically what Drew Findling was accusing them of doing. Y'all had all this evidence all this time. Declined not to prosecute. The only thing changed was Stefan Mack and them pled guilty. They did the same shit to me. When I tell you I got charged for the same murder twice, they did the same shit to me. They had the same evidence, the same fake ass witness, dropped the case, Now they come back a year later with the same evidence, the same fake ass witness. Only difference is he's saying he was the shooter. When before he said he know who did it. Now that's not really new evidence, man. That ain't really new evidence. Be something he guilty of. Because cause it's the system, man. And the system preys on black man. Fuck the system forever. That's why I loyalty betrayal. I will never, ever, ever side with the federal government on nothing. They dirty. They played a huge role in what's going on in the black community today. I can never side with them. It's always gonna be mad, beat them bitches. Fuck it. People got a problem with what Durk did, get it in blood. The fuck? I'd rather it go that way, to be honest. But I'd never side with the motherfucking government. Knowing what the fuck they did to black people. I don't know. And their dirty tactics. Their tactics are dirty. And they get away with it. All the time. Look like this time Judge ain't letting them get away with it. Like how you gonna wait? How you gonna wait? So criminals should just get away with crimes until it hits close to home? Fuck no. It ain't about it hitting close to home. If Lord Pad was my cousin, I wouldn't want Durk in jail. I wouldn't want him in jail. If I felt some type of way about it, I'd get it my damn self. I'm just not the jail type. Loyalty betrayal. Like I don't side with prisons and none of that shit. Like that's not how I operate. You know, it's street justice. It's a lot of forms of justice out here, man. You know, it's a lot of ways to get justice. You know, you don't gotta go the police route. And then with Durk, like everything he did was within the lines of the streets. Like we ain't talking about no innocent people being murdered. We ain't talking about no kids and no women. We talking about everybody was playing in this game called the streets. That's what we talking about. Everybody that Durk is affiliated to or was rumored to have hurt was all playing in the lines of the streets. Now, if we was talking about innocent women and kids, then I wouldn't probably have my take on Durk probably would be different. But we talking about everybody that understood what the fuck was going on and decided to participate. Man, fuck no. Free that boy, man. And if you're not going to free him, at least give him a fair trial. Don't wait till 2 months before a trial and hit him with new charges. And these charges is worse than any other charge that he faced. No, don't do him like that. No, fuck no. Don't do him like that, man. That's fucked up. Don't do him like that. When y'all knew y'all was going to charge him, they knew they was going to do this from the fucking beginning. Yeah, but we ain't talking about nobody innocent in this situation. Everybody in this situation wasn't innocent. Nobody in this situation is innocent. None of the so-called victims in Durk's situation is innocent. What about the innocent people that the system preys on? I'm more worried about them motherfuckers. What about all the people that got found guilty of crimes they didn't commit? And you know, I don't even like conspiracy charges. I think conspiracy opens the door to a lot of false prosecutions. I think a lot of people end up falsely accused because of this fucking RICO and this conspiracy shit. If you ain't got the evidence, you shouldn't be able to fucking indict. I don't like circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence opens the door for unfair prosecutions. That's what circumstantial evidence does. They hit me 7 weeks before statute of limitation ran out. Yeah, but that's not really illegal. What they did with Durk was raw. Like that was a real dirty game. They hit him with the most serious charges 2 months before trial, and then try to flood him, with all this motherfucking case law and digital evidence and witness statements and nah, fuck no, you can't. That was dirty as shit, man. After, after the state then postponed it 3 times, so they was ready to force another postponement. Durk, so I don't know how the feds work, but I know in the state everybody get 3 postponements. The state get 3, and the defense get 3. Durk ain't postponed it yet. Every single trial date that they had, Durk was ready to fight. But you can't put me in a situation like this. Now I'm fighting with one hand behind my back. Now I'm handicapped because y'all just gave us all these documents in a short period of time. No, you can't do that. That ain't cool. That ain't cool. Hold on. Yeah, you saying like, well, the good blacks. Hey, make sure you're here for white on white crime, my Ghost. Make sure you're here. So subscribe to the channel because September is coming fast. No, Durk ain't postponed it, man. Durk ain't postponed nothing. The feds tried to accuse Durk of postponement by postponing things by filing motions. Those motions ain't have no burns on them postponements at all. Those motions ain't had no burns on the case getting postponed. Yeah, they might say that in writing, but that ain't had no burns on them postponements, man. We ain't filed a motion to get the indictment tossed. That wasn't cause for a postponement. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to do anything like read more documents or gather new evidence for none of that. No, they didn't. Lord C. Betrayal, they lying. Well, because a motion for a new trial, a motion to get an indictment tossed because of the prosecutor not being voted in. How does that change the date of the trial? That don't change the date of the trial. There's nothing that goes into that. That's just a hearing. That shit probably lasted 20 minutes. They didn't have to do anything extra. But this right here, where we're getting discovery documents a month before a trial, man, that's gonna push a postponement, man. The feds don't got no case. That's why they was pushing for this Vicar shit. Because what this Vicar thing did, it allowed them to not have a case and to possibly still get a conviction. Now, when you deal with it individually, the evidence changed. You can no longer say that because this person did this, because this person was accused of that, because this person's name is tied to this, then he's guilty. You can't do that. You can't make that case no more. Now you got to have real evidence. You got to have real proof. You can't just say Booney Mo did a crime here, Didi did a crime there, King Von did a crime there, and all of this is OTF. That means Durk is guilty. You can't make that case no more. And that was the case that the federal government was trying to make with this indictment. And it ain't get tossed yet, but hopefully it do. I don't think they're going to pursue this. If they can't try this Vicar murder in this trial right here, I don't think they're going to pursue it at all. I don't. I don't think they're going to pursue it at all, to be honest. Hold on, y'all. Let me call this customer right quick. Hold on. And I gotta talk about Boosie tonight. I'm going in on Boosie, y'all. I'm going in on Boosie. I can't believe it. Boosie got to be what, a double. I'm going in on his ass. Make sure y'all here for that, because that's just gonna be hilarious. Hold on. No, no, I muted it. I had to talk to a customer. Yeah, but yeah, I understand that loyalty and betrayal, but that doesn't cause for a postponement. You understand what I'm saying? That don't cause for a postponement. That's a hearing that probably lasted 20 minutes. You don't you don't get postponements for that. Now when you talk about new charges being filed, yeah, hell yeah. 2 months before a trial, yeah, you got to postpone that, man. Got to. And the most serious charges, the charges that's hard to beat. If they wanted to try Durk on a RICO, they should have tried Durk on a RICO from the beginning. They should have brought him in on a RICO because it seemed like to me that was their goal the whole time. That was their goal the whole motherfucking time. See, what was happening was the Stephon Mack case was falling apart. They ruined the Stephon Mack case by putting that informant in AJ in AJ's cell. So they use this as a way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We can get a conviction on them, and we can tighten the noose on Durk. That's what they tried to do. That's what they're still trying to do. It just look like to me the government ain't buying it. Yeah, I know the right car is new, and it's dirty. It was dirty that they did that. They should have been to that. They should have been to that. And that's the argument that Durk defense team is making. Y'all been knew about the Atlanta thing. Y'all been knew about the Chicago thing. Y'all should have been done that. Why would y'all wait until 2 months before trial? That was dirty, man. Hopefully the judge, that's why the judge said that could prejudice the jury. That could prejudice the whole case. Because now, if you force them to go to trial on the 20th, you open the door for a motherfucking mistrial. You open the door to get the case thrown out. Because he ain't have enough time, man, to review all the documents. No, it's not illegal. It's just dirty. No, it ain't illegal. Fuck no, it ain't illegal. But it's dirty as a mother. It's about dirty as it gets. It ain't illegal, but it's about dirty as it gets, though. It's about dirty as it gets. It's up to the judge to rule on it. And it looks like the judge, in this case, ain't really fucking with that so far. And I think that'd be the right thing to do. To keep this court case fair, to give everybody got a fair shot, the right thing to do would to be either sever this or throw it out altogether. But I think if they sever it, I think the prosecution gonna throw it out. Because AJ and Marley, if this was a separate trial, AJ and Marley ain't coming to testify. That's not part of their deal. Part of their deal was to testify. They wanted to lump this into a RICO so they can bring in some statements that was made. And that's gonna be a whole nother hearing. You see what I'm saying? You see the delay? Now they gotta have a hearing as to the admissibility of the statements that AJ and Marley signed to. Man, we talking about a whole nother year, man. We talking about a whole nother year. Durk won't be going to trial to 2027. Late 2027. It was a dirty move, man. I hope the judge do the right thing. If not, toss it out. At least sever it. I think they're going to more than likely. If they're not, they ain't going to toss it out because judges like to give the prosecution all the discretion in the world. But you got to at least sever it and make it 2 separate trials. Got to. They can't get it postponed unless they get it severed. Oh shit, I forgot this blacked out. Yeah, they can't get it postponed unless they get it severed. If it ain't getting severed, they ain't getting nothing postponed. Yeah, ain't nobody agreed to no severance yet. And that's what I'm saying. Now look. So look what that indictment created. Now that indictment that created a situation where nobody's ready. You got some sides ready to go to trial or saying let's roll. You got other sides saying no, hold up, we ain't ready yet. They fucking that whole case up, man, trying to be slick. They fucking that whole case up trying to be slick, man. And it looks like this was the plan all along. That's what it looks like. The plan all along was to hit Durk with a fucking Rico. And they waited till the fucking 10th hour to do it. Oh yeah, we on Gucci Hill. I mean, we on Boosie Hills, Dexter. You know that. We on that boy Hills tonight. I'm trying. Yeah, we gonna hey, this shit gonna be epic. You hear me? This gonna be a live for the ages tonight. I'm trying to tell you. We ain't letting up on this ass. But you mean they already hit him with a Rico? Yeah, the Vicar's a Rico. But I'm saying that should have been, if not the first indictment, it should at least been the second indictment. How the fuck you how you make that the third indictment? Like what you gonna be indicting a nigga all the way up until trial? Like goddamn, like you gotta stop somewhere. And also what they did was it fucked up the scheduling hearings that they had preset. They had deadlines that both sides agreed to. And now they fucking up. It's just a lot. The judge is going to rule against us, man. And I think that's the best rule. And I know Durk is probably over that bitch relieved like a motherfucker. Because I know he was sweating. I know I'd have been sweating. If I was Durk, I know he was sweating about this Vicar Rico shit. You gotta remain positive, hope for the best and prepare for the worst, but I know right now he gonna sleep a little bit better tonight. Still unease, because the judge ain't ruled yet. But based off of what I'm hearing happen in court, he gonna sleep a little bit better. No, they didn't. The second one was the second indictment. They added death by stalking. They don't have no proof of payment in this case. I think some of these witnesses is gonna surprise some people too, man. And Lord to betrayal, I can say this. I do agree with you. I don't know if it's Boney Mo, but I think some of these OTF affiliates, like a Zay Osama and a Mimo, and some of these guys that got federal indictments recently. I think some of them motherfuckers made statements. Legit. Based off the paperwork I read yesterday, I think some of them motherfuckers made statements. I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus because I don't know. But based off of, I think it's a few unindicted co-conspirators like that's been indicted in other cases that's going to be testifying in this case. I do believe that. Man, where I'm at is hot as a bitch. Fucking 95 degrees out here. I do believe that. Like Nemo might be one of them. I just do. Like, he said like he got that much heat and vitriol toward Durk that he'll testify on Durk if need be. I don't know about Zay Osama. Mimo already said something, when he went on No Jumper and talked about the OTF group chat. He should have never said that. If you remember when Durk got booked, all them guys started reaching out to like former OTF members. That's why I said them niggas work with the police. Adam 22. As soon as Durk got booked, Mimo interview come out. Man, what the fuck is you interviewing Mimo for? He ain't got no music. Cam Capone. He was going on them interviews saying some wild shit, man. He was saying some wild shit on them interviews. Him and Zay Osama. Talking about, Zay Osama said something about the group text. Mimo said that Durk make you pledge loyalty to him. Like, why would you say that? when they paint this man the head of a fucking indictment. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Somebody should have slapped his head off for that. That was stupid. Remember, he said Durk make you pick OTF over everything. Cause they was talking about 600. What's it called? My man, I fuck with Shorty. Fuck little nigga name is 600. The one that's with her. He was saying why he don't go to 600 no more. He said he fuck with OTF. What's up, Benji? Yeah, yo, I'm just saying, yo, it's gonna be some names. It's gonna be some people that you know that's gonna end up on that witness list. That's gonna shock some people, shock me included. Ain't like I ain't got no inside information. I just read some paperwork that says, you know, it's some guys that been indicted recently. That's unindicted co-conspirators that made statements. It say that in the paperwork. If you're not, you know, if you're not to break down paperwork, definitely say that shit. When they talking about the investigation and how the investigation was forthgoing after his arrest, yeah, they were still bringing people in. You got PW 4 and 5 or 3 and 4 talking about the Atlanta situation, but they ain't had first-hand knowledge. Who the fuck is that? Fuck is PW 3 and 4? Hey, Lord Secretary, who PW 3 and 4? They're supposed to have inside information on the Atlanta case. But it's hearsay though. There's a lot of wild shit going on. I can't wait till we talk about Bootsy though. I can't fucking wait. That nigga crazy. Crazy as shit. Oh man. Say what? Yeah, they got Memo on a pistol joint. You know, and shit like that too. We start grabbing niggas for pistol cases, and you know, most people tell on murders. From my experience, them niggas got locked up with guns, man. I'm trying to tell you. From my experience of being in the streets, when niggas get locked up on them joints, they talk about bodies, man. I'm telling you. It's sickening. And they just caught a quiet gun case that turned federal. I ain't gonna lie, that's a red flag. That's a red flag right there. It's like they only turned that bitch federal to get him to, you know, to see what he needs, see if he was trying to help himself. You feel me? That's what they call it. They call it helping yourself, man. You know, got all these dudes on these little fed bits. You know, they ain't facing a whole bunch of time. You know, a little 5 years, maybe 6, 7 years. You know, if you want to help yourself, you know, help us help you. You know, we got this OTF little Durk situation going on. Yeah, man. What you know about that? You feel me? That's how they do, yo. That's how they operate. You know? Now, I ain't gonna promise you nothing, you know, but if you know a little something, you know, I can cut you a little deal. Ain't nothing too crazy. Give you probation or something. You know, give you down with departure. You know, 5K1. What it say? I tell you that he got caught with a pistol. I ain't really read too much after that. I just know how the pistol cases operate. I already know the type of games they play on the pistol cases. because they can sit you down for a pistol case, especially if you got caught with some drugs. They can give you 10 years for that shit, easy. Easy 10, if your record bad. A lot of niggas trying to get up out of that 10 piece. They'll tell a little something for them. Tell a little something. But yeah, I'm happy for Durk, man. I know his family. I know he probably, it ain't over yet. But it's always nice, when you have a good day in court. Because you can see which way the judge is going. Yeah, man, a lot of times. You can see which way the judge is going, That's you're probably going to sleep real good at night. Because I'm telling you, with that Vicar shit hanging over him, mixed with this case, I'm sure he had a lot of sleepless nights. I would have. But when I first seen it, I'm like, oh, no, this is bad. And y'all know I've been rocking with it the whole time. But I gotta keep it real as well. I ain't gonna never be just, biased and act like, if something crazy happened that don't look good for Durk, I ain't gonna spin it to make it look good just because I fuck with Durk. I don't know, I'm gonna tell you, that shit look bad. You feel me? That look bad. And when that third superseding indictment dropped, that shit looks bad. And y'all know from the beginning, I said, they got to get this shit tossed. Got to. Mandatory. And I think everybody knew it looked bad. Because as soon as it dropped, motion for sever. Everybody, sever. Durk was even trying to sever. You heard me? Durk was trying to sever from himself. Fuck that, if I can separate this case and this case. Man, yeah. That shit was bad, man. Real. That shit was bad. Fuck that. Gotta get that bitch tossed. But we going live tonight for certain. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're gonna probably get some more information on this. Talk about Boosie. What else? It's a few different topics I've seen on the internet. Probably cover a few of them. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's another day of keeping you new. And I'm out.